Hi, champs. How's everybody doing? Hopefully, you're all working on your breathing and your balance. Yeah, easier said than done, isn't it? It's tricky, but it's like I said, it depends on how true you are to who you were at your birth, basically, like to yourself. Don't let anybody change you. And if you can do that, it makes it so much easier to balance. Like I say, it's in the smallest and simplest of things, literally. Also, in my last video that I posted on Facebook here, was I said how we're all truly the same. Well, we are. Like, we're all made out of the same thing. This is an atom. This is the basic building blocks of everything from us to the planet to everything we touch, we feel, we taste, even the cosmos. Atoms, my friend, the smallest building block for everything. It is what it is, and we're all made out of the same. The thing that separates us is our DNA, which that's where the beauty lies. Like, that's what truly defines who you are. It does. I strongly believe that, and it doesn't matter your background, what walk, what religion, where you were born, any of it. None of it is. We're all the same. We have to come to realize that, and many of us do, but a bunch of us don't because it is. That's where conflict lies, and I'm not here to create conflict. That's not my purpose here. I'm just trying to shine a little light on the situation and actually hopefully people start realizing it for what it truly is because yeah, we're not doing well, obviously. Well, look at the stress right now. The world is stressed, like economically, shortages in food, housing. Our supplies are running short, where they're dwindling. Well, I'll tell you what the cause is, and it's you, my friend. It's me as well. Like I'll take some of the blame for it because yes, it is what it is. We're our own worst enemies. We're scuttling our own ship. Many of us believe the solution to pollution is dilution. Well, instead of actually processing and expecting it just to like take care of us for eternity, well, the signs are pretty evident over the last little bit. Like I have that one post on my page where the past is behind us. Learn from it. Well, we better start learning. The future is ahead of us. Prepare for it. Well, how do you prepare for something like that? We better start just doing our part slowly but surely, but each and every one of us, and like I said, it's truly in each and every one of us, because like I say, we're all made of the exact same thing. So is everything around us. I'll give a quick rundown on what I'm doing and how I'm able to do what I do with like my recovery from my broken back. Like I said, we're only tested if we're known to be capable. Well, I've been tested my entire life. Like back of my past, a quick rundown. I was born April 21st, 1983. I was born dead. My first breath was late, but I tell you, it was a good one. And that's where you take your first breath. Your first breath is your most important because that is your separation from your mother who carried you into this world. So that is what defines you is your very first breath. Well, mine was late, but like I say, it was a good one, and I was dead, so it shouldn't have even happened, but somehow miraculously it did. I ended up after that learning disability, so illiterate. I had troubles in school. Society classified me as bottom of the barrel. I've accepted that. After high school, my only options was trades. I picked the one where you learn all of the trades in one, which is automotive because it does it all. And then I ended up being diabetic in high school too, so I was tested there. So dead stick of an organ, so insulin dependent, but I still did sports and gym all the way through. I don't let anything limit you. Like the only thing to limit you is yourself. You just gotta learn to understand you and actually figure out what works for you, and that, I'm very good at that. That's what I kind of do, and it's very natural to me, like literally naturally to me. And then I lost my skin pigment, so I have pigment loss. I ended up getting that after working at a nuclear power plant because I got tired of the automotive sector because I didn't agree with it because it was coming unsustainable. Because instead of changing brass in a starter to redo contacts and a plunger for $15, we were replacing starters for $250. They're even more expensive now, but why? I used to be able to do it without even brass. I used to be able to do it with the file, but they peen everything over. They make it non-serviceable, disposable. Well, listen, if you live disposable, You are how you live. So if you live that way, you become that. And that's what we're becoming as a society. I'm sorry to say it. Like, the truth hurts, my friends. It's just I don't, because I buy all old stuff, like, and because I know how to fix it, and it helps me big time. So that's definitely a good thing there for me. Like, bonus on my side, I never pay full price. I never put anything on payments. I don't pay interest. I wait until I have the money. If I want something, I started an account. I did it with my first motorcycle. It took me 5 years. I went in with cash, and they wouldn't take that by the time I had the money. So I had to go and get a bank draft so that they would sell the thing to me. Like, what a world! I'm telling you, it's just bonkers. But it is what it is. I just laugh at it. Sustainability, my friend. Like, I only own 2 TVs in my life, and they both still work. I don't know what else to say about this. Like, it is what it is. Yeah, you reap what you sow, and I try to be as sustainable as I can, and is less waste. Like, I don't like wasting food at all. So yeah, all of it, like, that stuff upsets me. So, but we're so bad at it because we think that it's just given to us like a gift, but we're just so wasteful. Well, if we're wasteful and if we're not sustainable, well, guess what? Yeah, we reap what we sow, my friends. So you know what I mean? Like, be kind to others, as kind as you can. Some of us have easier time than that than others. I have points where I don't, but I found out that I've got my twin flame, like I said in my post, and I believe it's Mother Earth, and she's frantic right now, yelling at us. So take all of this with a grain of salt, because this is just my beliefs on it. I don't theorize. It's the people in the field that have the knowledge. You can write anything down on paper, but it's just a theory in that case. Case in point, when I was released from the hospital, I was given this. I didn't read one word of it. After I broke my back, not one word. With my accident, I went out snowmobiling. I was in trade school. I was almost set. So I went back into fixing stuff after working at a nuclear plant, and I ended up going into motorcycles because we still repair stuff in that field. So it was a big pay cut, monstrous, but listen, my soul's not for sale. Follow whatever makes you happy, and money can't buy you happiness. You just got to follow happiness, and you can't buy it. You can't. You just have to do it and follow yourself. Like, that's key. So that's what I did. I was a month away from finishing my last term of trade school. Really good marks. I came up snowmobiling for the weekend with some friends back up where I'm from, and we hit the trails. I was second in line. It was a very snowy day, lots of fresh loose powder, and we were cruising the trail and down a rail bed, so the trees are cut out, and it was snowstorm, and I was behind, so there was snow dust kicked up from the person in front of me. I could see their tail light, and I could see like the outline of the trees, and he ended up going left. I thought he was in trouble, so I slowed down, let off the throttle, and then whenever I cleared, there ended up being the property owner diverted the trail, didn't want anybody going through it. I wasn't aware, there was no signage. There was a big frozen snowbank from a bucket to block it, and it was frozen solid. I didn't have time to do anything. I caught it, I cranked a ski into it, bounced off of the hood. I landed on my back on a bucket berm and instantly paralyzed. No pain at all. It was just, I could not move. I had my wits about me. I wasn't knocked out. The police station was closed. There were 2 guys behind me. This is how bad the conditions were. I was less than 10 yards, 15 yards off the trail, and the 2 behind me didn't even see me, and I was on a bright green snowmobile. That's the way it was. They hit the next stop, realized I wasn't there, came back looking for me, found me. They called, the cops were there. I took off my helmet, talked to him. But whenever I broke, I ended up burst fracturing vertebrae, cracking a couple, broke a pile of ribs off of my spinal cord, and I cut through the butyl sac, which suspends your brain and your spinal column in fluid so that it's not up against bone, because that's like yelling out of water. Like, it's amplified. Everything's amplified. Well, I find everything is still, to this day, I pick up frequencies and signals because that's what we are. We're very electronic. Everything around us, but then again, we're all made out of atoms, and what these are neutrons and protons with electrons running around. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I can't think of his name right now. It just jumped my mind. But Mr. Tesla, the original one, right? Who invented AC current. Well, these emit a frequency. Frequency's AC, right? Digital is on off. So a digital is a switch, like a light switch in your house. You turn it on, all of a sudden light comes on, you turn it off, light goes out. Well, AC is not like that. AC is positive, negative, depending on the frequency of it. The higher the frequency, it's a very variable, but you can Google it, look into it, you'll figure it out. This is just very basic. I'm trying to keep it simple. So all of this emits an energy. We are made up of these. Our human cells, each one, we have our DNA. This is where the beauty is. In the very center, and then we have the human cell. Well, there are 3 trillion atoms in each cell. There's over 3 trillion cells in each atom. I had them all yelling at me when my nerves woke up in the hospital. But before they woke up, I was able to move. I got my feet moving, my one leg moving. It's all on my YouTube channel, so if you want to check that out, yeah, like I say, take it as a grain of salt. Like, this is just my path and how I ended up processing it, and I did it as I'm going. And the funny thing is I kind of, it's funny, my intuition too has always been really good, because I named the channel Seeing is Believing. Well, obviously that's not really true. Like, look around you at the world. Like, look at nature. Like, look at the weather. Like, we see it, it's right in our face, but we still just ignore it and choose not to actually see it for what it is. Truth is felt, is what it says, and I feel it. But like I say, where I broke my back, this is the brain. This is our spinal cord. It is directly connected. Oh, look at that magic. That just jumped off the page weird. So anyways, happens all the time with me. I get used to it. It doesn't freak me out at all. So I ended up cutting here. In return, I have 8 screws, a cross brace, 2 rods, and 2 rivets holding me together. I broke myself on structure. The only thing holding me together was soft tissue. Plus, up on top, I lost all of my spinal fluid and I cut through nerve stem. I was classed catastrophic. I'm not even supposed to be able to get out of bed, according to them, is what they told me. Well, like I say, they gave me this book. I didn't even read a single page. I was illiterate after being born blue. They did lots of tests back in that day and I couldn't do any of the written stuff. But I tell you, if they put a puzzle in front of me, I owned it like a boss. Like, but that's where I shine. That's what I do. I apply, and I don't read, and then I actually apply, because I find it can get convoluted if you read this. I still haven't read a word. In fact, we'll see what the first one is. It probably says hello. Or you're in for a ride. Literally. Crash course. See, I can't even read that. You have been told that you have a spinal cord injury. Yes, I was. Good enough for me. Perfect. Thank you. Moving on. So with these ferrous rods, I pick up frequency now. It never left me. I just put in the time to understand it, but I'll tell you how I had to do that. I had to get off the pills. So I don't take any Tylenol. I don't take anything. I don't take any Hydromorph. I was on direct injection morphine. I was on Lyrica, oh, you name it. I was Nabalone, all of it. Right now, I don't take anything at all. I just don't, because I don't need to, because I've learned from my pain. But you cannot learn from it if it's masked by pills. So this is your body, right here. This is your dipstick. So like I said it earlier, if you're doing it right on the inside, it reflects on the outside. Well, right there, that's what that is. So you separate that. Now there's left and right hemisphere. There's your will, or aura, soul, being, essence, whatever you want to call it. Fill your boots, name it what you want. I'm not saying what it is because I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is. And then there's your heart. Now these are the 4 main parts. This is Pandora's box. Now, say if something happens to you in life, and what makes it hard to balance is because something you could not process in the past, whether it be heartbreak. So your heart, whatever, instead of dealing with it and processing it, you switched it. Okay, with me, it was my body break. So it sends a signal, take the pills, it masks it. you drink because you can't cope with anything. Yes, it will get you through and help you sustain to a degree, but there's no growth there until you can actually go back and process it and open yourself up. I am very open. Like I say, I don't know how else to put it, but I do. There is a higher power. Many believe in it. Your religion, whether it be Catholic, Buddhist, Muslim, Reiki, like any of them, like whatever works for you, fill your boost. I strongly promote that. That's your call. Me, I see a little bit of truth in it all because yeah, I'm very open in that aspect. And I think that's another reason why I can do what I can and why I'm back the way I am. And yeah, just kind of looked over. But I've been looked over my whole life since my first breath for some reason. It's truly something else. But hey, it is what it is. Like, I should be dead several times. Crashing my snowmobile, crashing motorcycles, even after my back. That's why I'm putting the plastics on it, or the body kit, because I ended up shredding the factories in turn 2 at Shannonville, and I didn't have a mark on my suit, but the bike, all the plastics thrashed. There wasn't a piece of plastic that wasn't broken. It is what it is, but I ended up going race because it's lighter, and hey, next time if I drop it, I'm not planning on it because I don't need to prove anything out there anymore. I'm just there for fun. Like, it's all about fun and having joy. So that's what I do. Like, fill yourself with joy and do things that make you happy. It's really not simple because, yeah, it's good vibes. If you're happy, you send good vibes. If you're miserable, you send bad vibes. Don't worry, I feel them. So I watch who I stay around and who I talk to. It's one of those things. But it doesn't matter what your circumstances are. That's for you to figure out and for you to be able to go back. Because if you cannot and you're closed up in any of these areas, some people are open more than others. Some people in some areas are fully open but closed in other ones. It is what it is. It's your circumstances, but that's for you to know. But that's for you to look back in your past and be able to process it. So what you have to do is you have to learn the lesson in it and deal with it so you can open yourself up. I'm very open. That's kind of a downfall because at points I'm brutally honest, but hey, I call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, that's just me. But that's what helps me too. Like, honesty is the best policy because you'll never get caught in a lie. And if you lie to others, think about how badly you're lying to yourself. Don't lie. Just be honest. So as long as you're open, you can actually process the communication that is from point A to point B, but everything has something to say. So what you have to do is listen to it all in its entirety. Some parts will mislead where others will, but they all have partial truth. So you have to be able to decipher that. That's what I've come to realize, and that's what I do. I listen to myself in my entirety. I kind of take it as it comes and process it as it is. It's the understanding of it. But like, as humanity, all of us, we have to be able to kind of look at our past and learn from it. Like, if you look at your individual past, and then if you look at our past as an entirety from the very start, like, we're unearthing stuff, we're learning stuff that we never known. There's been stuff that's been theorized about, but theory is theory. It's the actual understanding and processing of it. Like, take for example ancient civilizations like the Egyptians. They were capitalizing on others, right? Reason why it didn't pan out for you is, my friends, look at the Romans, exact same thing. You know what I mean? Look at the Mayans. Now this is different because what happens was the Spanish were starting to invade and take all their gold. But what they were doing was they went and they were at their temples and they were around water, which is a life source of this planet. Well, it ended up going drought, and they were sacrificing to appease the gods, and it wasn't helping them at all. They just kept losing more and more water. But on the other hand, it's just kind of known that they were clear cutting the forest too. So yeah, you wiped yourself out and you made yourself unsustainable. We're doing the same thing globally. Like, it's with our plants. If you pay attention globally, we're losing crops. Florida is having a hard time with oranges because they're getting frost down there. Down in Brazil just weeks ago, they lost a pile of livestock because they all froze because they're getting frozen temperatures. I'm up here in Canada, and yeah, we're breaking heat waves. We've lost the most hectares of forest on record this year. The oceans, they're hotter than they have ever been. Losing more ice. Like, we did this. This is all us. And what you have to do is kind of slow down, take a breath. but looking at your past and actually learning from it is, you have to do that as individuals and as a society. So I suggest start as a society and actually come to understand. Like, look at World War II, 1939 to 1945. So it started out pretty modest, you know what I mean? Like the technology. Well, in that short time period, we ended up developing rockets, right? The Germans had the V1, nuclear bomb, right? There's so much, and it was phenomenal the amount of technology that was developed in such a short amount of time. Now, where did that come from? Well, I kind of have a basic understanding of it, or a theory on it, but like I say, it's just a theory. But that didn't just happen. That was somebody in the know. It's just in the wrong direction. Now, you got to do it in the right direction. So, like, the direction I go is I try to help others, and I try to help the planet the best I can. And it's more the planet, because that's what we need to sustain, and we keep not helping it at all. We just keep, the solution to pollution is dilution. Well, you can only dilute it so much. Our water, our air, you name it, our food. We're gene splicing, you know what I mean? We're losing entire crops due to gene splicing because they're all the same. Because in all honesty, we're trying to play God and get max yield out of it. Listen, the wrong way to go about stuff. I'm telling you that right now. If you don't believe me, that's fine. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not judging you. I'm not trying to persuade you or anything. Well, I'm just trying to enlighten you a little bit, like, to how it works for me, because I'm a marvel according to the medical field, and in different ways also. Like, yeah, with Mr. Tesla there and his batteries, like, keep working there. Like, we cannot store energy. Our energy is so rudimental compared to the energy that's in here. Yes, we split it. It's the collapse of this. It's the spike that creates energy, but it's not sustainable. This, though, is. We just got to understand this, and I feel this. I feel it in everything. Plants are made up of energy. Animals, people, we all are. Even things that don't move. Frequencies are a very real thing. Sound waves. Frequency, my friend. Don't worry. And these are dead. These are not alive, but these are made up of atoms. Listen, I understand this because I literally feel it, and I put in the time to kind of process it and kind of separate what's what. Because at first you're bombarded because you think it's all you, where it's not. You become connected. And if you have a spinal cord injury, trust me on this one, like, and you feel it, some of you are more aware of it than others, but keep growing and don't give up. Like, never give up. Just put in the time, slow down, trial and error. If it works, perfect, keep going. If it doesn't, stop, realize it. But we got to do this in our entirety as society also. Realize it, that stop, it's not working. Go back, process. Go to people in the know. Like, I don't know everything, and I'm not saying I do. I'm just in tune with all this, and I literally feel it, and I have an understanding of it. I don't know exactly how it works, but I like the basics, and that's what helps me, because I don't read into any of it. I actually apply myself, see what happens, and then if it's not going the right way, I kind of get kind of a process, understand, okay, where did it go wrong? Cause and effect, my friend. Like, most of us know the effect, but very few of us actually take the time to go those extra steps to find the cause, and that's where it's really at. That's the sweet spot, the happy spot. That's where you got to go to find it, and that's where you actually get enlightened. So, all of us, we have pets for a reason. Say if you mental issues, like say if you have anxiety or depression or what have you, you need a anxiety animal, right? Very real thing. Like I said in my post, pain, I'm very familiar with pain. Like, I befriended it that it doesn't even cause me pain anymore. In fact, it's helping me because it doesn't give me pain. It just gives me these good feelings. Sorry, it's true, but spade's a spade. Honesty is the best policy. But what most people do is, like, if you're mentally in anguish, you find an animal helps because they are true to themselves. They will not stab you in the back. There's no bad frequencies emitted by them because that's all they know. They just know how to be true, and they will reflect their owner. Same with plants. So if you're a gardener and that brings you comfort, spend time in your garden. Water your plants inside. Have a plant close by. Like, don't go to an extreme, but if you're doing good, they will do good also. Like, energy is transmissible. We can share it. We can, yeah, send good vibes. Try to send good vibes whenever you can. I avoid bad vibes. Like, if there's somebody in bad vibes, I'm sorry, but I gotta learn to stop trying to help them too much because I absorb their pain and I don't need their pain anymore. That's your job. That's not mine. Like I say, and I'm not here being judgmental to anybody. Like, we all do it. Like, we're all our own worst enemies. I still am. I'm running a restrictor plate because if I breathe, I get overwhelmed. I'm bombarded. It is ridiculous. So I'm a smoker to keep my kind of lungs. Yes, it's hampering my recovery because the cells aren't getting the oxygen with the blood flow to get the nutrients to the cells to heal, blah, 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 blah. On and on. I understand all that. And I'm not a doctor, man, but I'm a mechanic. These hands are licensed, right? Certified. So, yeah, animals. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Pick up good vibes, kind of spend time, slow down, and actually process. But I'm not judging anybody because that's not my job. Feel free to judge me. I'm not worried about it because I strongly believe in karma and I know what's going to happen. So just be warned there. If you come attacking, like, I know where I stand. So come stand toe to toe and try to argue with me. Like, yeah, how do you argue with somebody that can, yeah, do the impossible? But nothing's impossible. Like, we're all capable of this, and it's inside all of us. So we got to start realizing this and slowing down and working together. The technology's out there. We just have to combine it in the right way, down the right direction. Because right now it's going down the wrong direction. Mother Nature's yelling at us, so don't listen to me, but listen to her. Because she's telling you right now, right here. Like I said, like, look at the global climate. Look at, oh yeah, everything I just said with, like, yeah, globally. Like, this isn't just out your backyard. So don't think it's just going to hit you and miss the next guy. It doesn't work like that. Like, this is global. We're all on this boat together, and many of us are scuttling it. Slow down, stop polluting, do your part. And it's truly in the smallest things. Do not support unsustainability, and do your best to not waste and to recycle in a proper way. Like, most of the stuff I buy, I just bought a winter jacket on sale off season, right? So I save big money there. I saved over 60%, and it's made out of recycled pop bottles or water bottles, right? Like, it is what it is. Like, do your research. Sometimes, like, don't just cheap out on stuff because you're just going to throw it away. Well, that's disposable. Like, do not support that. What we need food, we need housing, and we need more people to care for each other. Yeah, be loved, but love her and you will find you are loved in return. Literally. Like, try it. Give it a shot. If you don't want to, that's your choice. We all have a choice, you know, but I made mine and I know I'm loved in return, and I'm loved beyond most people can love me in return. Like, I haven't felt any love like the love that I feel from her. Yeah, I don't know how else to say it, but like I say, don't believe me. I'm just trying to shed a little light because it's such a dark world and we need some more light in this world, and we got to start actually working together, and slowly but surely I believe we can. We just got to slow down. COVID was a perfect example. That 2 years it was shut down, I broke my back February 1st 2020, right at the onslaught of COVID. Like, it was just getting into the mainstream. I was out of the hospital in 3 months, right? Like, released because they didn't have room because they were all worried about COVID. But the world shut down, and then the next 2 years, the amount of growth there was phenomenal because she had breathing room. So pay attention to that. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Do your best. If you don't want to listen to me, follow your path. I encourage you to follow your path, but follow your true path, not the illusion that you have become over something that happened to you or any of that. You know when you're true to yourself. You feel it, because if you don't, you feel like crap. So start feeling good and let's start healing. Enjoy.